If you've been trying to lose weight for a while and at the beginning it was going well and you were making progress, but lately the scale's been pissing you off and your weight isn't going down and you just want to throw this thing at the fucking wall, watch this video the whole way through because I'm going to teach you how to adjust your calories, when to adjust your calories, and how much to adjust your calories. Many people aren't sure. Should they be eating more calories? Should they be eating fewer calories? They don't know how many calories they should be eating, and I'm going to teach you how to adjust your calories the deeper you get into a fat loss phase. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to win a free month in the Inner Circle. Let's get into it. To make this clear, let's go on a quick drive. Now, I want you to imagine that you are driving to work in the morning. It's a normal day, standard commute, and you're just driving to work. And then you hit a red light. And could you imagine sitting at a red light and thinking, I'm not fucking moving. Why isn't the traffic going? Why aren't I able to move forward? Fuck it, you know what? I'm just gonna go back home. Clearly, this is a waste of time. But the reality is, if you just wait and sit and be patient, the light turns green. And then you can keep driving and keep going on your way to work. And this is exactly how weight loss works. Because most people, when they start dieting and losing weight, they end up losing weight very, very quickly at the beginning, but eventually it slows down and they think it's slowing down, it's not working anymore. So as soon as they don't lose weight for a day or 3 days or 5 days, they think, fuck it, I need to reduce my calories. And that's not the case. When you have these plateaus, and I hate that word because people way overuse it, it's a plateau, it's just a normal, it's a pause. It's like red lights are normal, stop signs are normal, plateaus are normal. You're not gonna lose weight every single day. The first time you have your weight stall, the second time, the third time, you don't need to change your calories. And if you've used my free calorie calculator, yes, it's free, the link is in the description, the calories that gives you will work until you hit that goal weight. It's all explained in the calorie calculator, link in the description, sign up, you get it for free. If you use that calorie calculator, the calories that gives you are what you need to follow until you hit that weight. The reality is, like I've said, your weight will slow down, there will be plateaus, it's normal. The only time you need to change your calories is if you have not changed your weight for at least, and I mean at least 4 weeks. 1 month of being 100% consistent. If it hasn't been 1 month and or you haven't been 100% consistent, there's no need to change your calories. With that being said, if you have been consistent for a month straight and your weight still isn't going down, keep watching because I'm going to explain how to adjust your calories going forward. Now this is where we get into the meat and potatoes of this video and discuss how to actually adjust your calories. If you are struggling, if you've been consistent for at least 4 weeks, if your weight hasn't gone down for at least 4 weeks, you have 3 options. The first option is decrease your calories, which quite frankly, fucking sucks. But if you want to keep losing weight, this is one of the main options. The other option is to increase your movement, increase your caloric expenditure, which doesn't suck as much as decreasing calories, but it does take up more time, it does take up more energy, and it's not always fun. The third option, and this is the option I don't recommend you do right away, is both at the same time, both decreasing your calories and increasing your movement. And I'm begging you, I'm imploring you, do not make the mistake of doing this at the beginning. Most people, as soon as they struggle, they're like, I need to reduce my calories and increase my movement. They radically reduce their calories, they radically increase their movement, and then they're doing something completely unsustainable. If you can't sustain this, then you won't be able to sustain the results that you get from doing this. So start with one. What I'm going to explain now when we go into the gym is which one you should start with. Should you start with reducing your calories or should you start with increasing your movement, and by how much? Let's discuss. So we're gonna break this section into 2 different parts. Basically, if you're a bigger person or a smaller person like me. I'm only 5'4" on a good day. I only weigh about 150 pounds. And when you're smaller, you don't get to eat as many calories. If you're bigger, you get to eat more calories and still lose weight. I know, trust me, it's unfair, it's fucking life. If you are a somewhat bigger person, and I would classify a relatively big person by someone who could eat 2,200 calories or more and still be in a calorie deficit. If you don't know how many calories to eat to be in a calorie deficit, use my free calorie calculator, link is in the description. If you are a relatively big person and you can eat 2,200 calories or more and still be in a calorie deficit, what I would do is just simply decrease your calories in order to create a larger calorie deficit and adjust your caloric numbers. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's very important. Now, how much of a calorie deficit or how much should you adjust your calories? Simply by about 10%. You don't want to go 20, 30, 40, 50% calorie changes. Just reduce your calories by about 10%. So let's say, for example, you're currently eating about 2,500 calories. Well, 10% of 2,500 is 250. So you'd reduce 250 calories from that 2,500. So now you're eating about 2,250 calories on a daily basis. And that is your new caloric deficit. And you have to follow this with 100% consistency consistency for at least 4 weeks before you decide, do I need to change my calories again or not? The reason I suggest a larger person reducing their calories rather than increasing movement is because in order to burn a sufficient number of calories through adding movement, it takes a lot of time and energy, and it's much easier to just slash off 10% than it is to add in a lot of extra movement. The difference is though, when you start getting to be a smaller person and you already aren't eating a lot of calories. So let's talk about that right now. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. And he's here. You wanna come on screen? Here, you come on, you take over. It's me, I'm the sponsor. I don't take outside sponsors, I'm the only one doing it. Anyway, if you've been following me for a while, you know I run the Inner Circle, which is my fitness membership. It's not for elite athletes, it's not for high-level bodybuilders, it's for everyday people who want to improve their health, lose weight, build muscle, get stronger, improve their flexibility and mobility, and just incorporate fitness into their life rather than making their life revolve around health and fitness. We are launching a brand new app. This app is absolutely fucking wild. It will launch within the next 2 to 3 weeks of publishing this video. We're gonna have a calorie tracker, we're gonna have a barcode scanner, the exercise substitution list. You can do at-home workouts, dumbbell workouts, full gym workouts. It has everything you need to incorporate fitness into your life. It's got recipes, it's got calorie trackers, we have a group community, everything you need is here in this app. Now, I haven't raised the price of the Inner Circle since 2017. When this app launches, price will be doubling, okay? I'm gonna say that again, price is doubling as soon as the new app launches. So if you want to join before the price doubles, hit the link in the description, sfinnercircle.com. Now's the best chance. And the best part is, if you join now, before the price doubles, you will remain at that price for the entirety of your membership as long as you remain an active member. If you cancel and then wanna come back, then you're gonna have to pay double. I think that's fair. But as long as you remain an active member, your price will never increase as long as you join right now before we launch the new app. I hope to see you in there. With that said, you wanna come back and finish the video? Here, you come back. Thank you. That was also a really good pitch, by the way. You crushed it. Now, let's talk about if you're a smaller person like myself. If you're smaller and you don't have as many calories to work with in a calorie deficit, number one, it sucks. Again, life isn't fair, just gotta deal with it and figure out ways to make it easier. Rather than reducing calories for the first thing that you do if you're smaller, increase movement, okay? Now, for example, let's say your caloric deficit is 1,500 calories a day on average. Cutting calories off of that, like taking 10% to 1,500 is 150 calories, so then you're gonna reduce your calories to like 1,350, which that really fucking sucks. It's not that much, but if you're very small, that might be what you need to do. If you aren't sure exactly how many calories you should have, use my free calorie calculator, link is in the description. Either way, rather than slashing off calories of what you're eating and making it way more difficult to sustain, increase your movement. Get more steps in. Go on a walk, go on a run, go on a bike ride, go hiking. I don't really care. Just increase your movement throughout the day. Personally, I like walking. I think it's the easiest one to track. You can track how many steps you're getting very simply, either on a watch or on your phone, or get a pedometer off Amazon. Super easy to track, and this way you can measure it. So if you aren't sure how many steps you're getting, try to aim for, let's say, at minimum 7,500 steps per day. If you're walking 7,500 steps per day and you're stalled out for 4 weeks of being 100% consistent, try increasing it to 10,000 steps a day. Do that for 4 weeks, stay 100% consistent. If that gets to be not enough, try increasing it to 11,000 steps. Obviously, there's an upper limit. I really don't want someone consistently going above like 15, 16,000 steps just so they can lose weight. I think that gets to be a little bit too obsessive, but between that like 7,500 to 12,000 range is a really good range to be in if you're really trying to lose consistently more fat. Then at the very end of all of that, let's say you're like, you know what? I can increase my movement and decrease my calories. Go little bits, small little bits. So if you want to, instead of going from 7,500 to 10,000 steps, maybe go from 7,500 to 8,000 steps and decrease your calories by about 5% rather than 10%. This way you can do both at the same time, but either way you want to make sure it's sustainable and measurable. Don't be guessing. Don't randomly be slashing off calories without tracking them. Don't randomly be adding a ton of extra movement without tracking how much movement, because when you measure what you're doing, you can track it and then you can be very aware of what needs to change. Keep in mind, above all else, whatever you change, it has to be sustainable. If you're not able to sustain the methods that you're using to achieve certain results, then the results that you get from those methods are inherently unsustainable. All right, now I have one more message to you. Pay close attention. So when all is said and done, whether you're in a plateau or you need to decrease your calories or increase your movement, regardless of where you are, what it boils down to is just don't give up. Keep going, keep trying. The only way you fail is if you quit. And remember, there's no finish line to this. There's no rush. Relax, keep going. You're just on your way in your fitness journey. There's no end line, there's no finish date. This keeps going forever. So relax, give yourself some grace, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, join the inner circle if you want to, grab the free calorie calculator in the link in the description. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go see my wife and baby.